When a writer rented a cabin in Montana, he thought the storm outside was the only thing to fear. But when barefoot footprints appeared in the snow, leading only to his door, he realized the real danger was already inside. Adam rented a cabin near Flathead National Forest, Montana, eager for isolation to finish his novel. The area was stunning. Tall evergreens, snow-blanketed landscapes, and a calm so pure it felt otherworldly. The cabin itself was rustic, with creaky wooden floors and a fireplace that crackled as if trying to compete with the silence. For the first 2 days, the peace was perfect. By the third night, however, a blizzard rolled in. The wind howled outside, and snowflakes battered the windows. That was when Adam first heard it. A faint knock at the door. At first, it was easy to dismiss. He figured it was the storm or a branch hitting the wood. But when the knock came again, louder and more deliberate, his stomach twisted. He hesitated, then called out, "Hello? Is someone there?" His voice echoed back, unanswered. Curiosity got the better of him. He peered through the peephole, seeing only the storm raging outside. Opening the door a crack, he found nothing but endless white and bitter cold. Adam chalked it up to paranoia, though he couldn't shake the unease creeping in. The following morning brought a shocking discovery. As Adam stepped out to grab firewood, he froze mid-step. In the fresh snow, leading from the edge of the forest to his door, were footprints, barefoot. The prints ended at his door, but didn't lead back into the woods. Who or what would walk barefoot in a snowstorm? Adam's mind raced, but he convinced himself it must have been an animal or some wandering hiker. That night, as he sat typing, the knocking returned, but now accompanied by whispers. "Let me in. It's so cold." The voice was faint but chilling, and something about it felt wrong. It wasn't a single voice, but layers, as if multiple people were speaking in unison. Adam bolted the door and tried to focus on his writing, but the whispers grew louder, surrounding the cabin. Then they stopped. The silence was unbearable. No wind, no snow, nothing. Adam's breath caught when he heard the floorboards creak behind him. He wasn't alone anymore. With trembling hands, he grabbed his phone and began typing a message to his girlfriend. Before he could hit send, his phone fell to the ground. By the time the authorities arrived, the cabin was empty. Adam's footprints led only to the front door, and his phone lay on the floor with an unsent message. "It's inside now." 3 trucks vanished on a frozen road in Canada. What police found were shattered windshields, empty cabs, and one driver's chilling last words over the radio. "It's on my windshield." The Tibbet to Contwoito Winter Road in Canada's Northwest Territories is infamous among truckers. Stretching across frozen lakes and snow-covered tundra, it's one of the most dangerous roads in the world. Drivers must navigate thin ice, sudden blizzards, and temperatures so cold your engine could freeze mid-route. Jack Carter, a seasoned driver, had hauled supplies on this road for years. He wasn't easily rattled. But the night of December 15th, 1975, was different. A blizzard had set in, and visibility was reduced to just a few feet. The only thing guiding Jack was the faint glow of the taillights from his friend Dave's truck ahead. As Jack focused on the road, his radio crackled. Dave's voice came through tense and shaky. "Jack, do you see that thing on the ice?" Jack squinted into the snowstorm, barely making out a shadowy figure standing on the road ahead. It was motionless, arms outstretched. "What the hell is that?" Jack asked, gripping the wheel. "I don't know," Dave replied, "but it's not moving. Wait, it's..." Before Dave could finish, he screamed, "It's on my windshield! Jack, help!" The radio cut out. When Jack reached Dave's location minutes later, His friend's truck was abandoned. The windshield was shattered as if something had struck it from inside. Jack's headlights flickered, and then the figure reappeared, standing mere inches from his truck. Its face was featureless, just smooth skin stretched over a head-like shape. It tilted its head, as though curious, then darted toward Jack's cab with impossible speed. Jack's screams were the last thing heard on the radio. By morning, search teams found both trucks abandoned. The official report blamed the blizzard, but locals whispered about the ice road ghost, a legend older than the road itself. At Frostview Resort, one wing has been locked for decades. But when a group of friends snuck inside during a snowstorm, one of them disappeared, leaving behind only a charred handprint on the wall. Frostview Resort in Vermont is famous for its picturesque slopes and cozy chalets. But not everyone comes for the skiing. Some come for the stories, particularly the ones about the abandoned West Wing, which has been sealed off since a fire in 1986 claimed 7 lives. Officially, the fire was caused by faulty wiring, but staff tell a different story. Guests had reported strange occurrences in the West Wing before the fire: laughter in empty hallways, shadowy figures, and mirrors that didn't reflect what they should. Sarah and her 3 friends weren't the superstitious type. They were thrill seekers, and when they heard about the abandoned wing, they decided to explore. Snow was falling heavily that night, and the resort was nearly empty. Bribing an employee with $50, they gained access to the sealed-off section. The wing was eerie. Walls were scorched black, and the air felt unnaturally cold. Sarah stopped in front of a cracked mirror and noticed something unsettling. Her reflection wasn't moving. Her friends laughed it off, calling it a trick of the light, but Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching her. That night, back in her room, Sarah woke to faint laughter. Turning on her phone's flashlight, she scanned the room. Her breath caught when the beam landed on the mirror. Her reflection was standing at the foot of her bed, smiling. It raised a hand to wave before disappearing into the darkness. By morning, Sarah was gone. The only clue was a charred handprints on the wall above her bed. Frostview quietly settled with her family, but rumors of the forgotten wing persist. Guests staying near it report strange laughter, cold drafts, and mirrors that seem to have minds of their own. Winter is a season of beauty and wonder, but beneath its serene surface lies a chilling darkness. The next time you're alone in a snowstorm, remember these stories, because not everything that waits in the cold wants to stay outside.